Hi guys, and welcome to a little special video. This is actually the third time I make this video because every time I did it I thought about something else that I wanted to say, and then thought about another something else that I wanted to say. And this video is about this brand called Plunge Audio. It's a Canadian brand owned and started by a gentleman called Simon Fisk. And well, before I carry on and tell you a little bit about Plunge, I want to thank Nature Dad for having been so kind to loan me this one-off special Plunge audio IEM that he has. And basically introduced me to something that has surprised me, and every time I listen to it surprises me more and more and more. This year thus far has been a very good year when it comes to earphones for me. I have been lucky enough to have a certain group of people that have loaned me some really nice stuff. I've had earphones of $3,000, $4,000, which for some of you that this is common thing, but for me I don't have access easily to any earphones. Basically, everything I have and I review, I buy. Occasionally I get something sent to me, but the majority is all bought. And especially when we're talking about expensive things, it gets a little bit more complicated. One thing is I go out and I buy 3 or 4 $40 IEMs, and sometimes I even repeat those purchases because I want to make sure that quality control is good and so on and so forth. Another thing is, you go spend $1,000 and let's just go buy another $1,000 one just because. So it's been very gratifying to have a number of people that have recognized my efforts and trust me, and sent me some really nice IEMs that I've reviewed and I've brought to you guys. I remember an IEM that I brought earlier this year, which it's only one of 3 made by a Ukrainian audiophile. Really something very special. And I mentioned that IEM because some of the things that IEM was using technically is also what is being used in this particular model here of Plunge. It doesn't really have a name, so I'm just going to call it Plunge. It's a 1+4, so 1 dynamic driver, 4 BAs, and it was basically a one-off made for Nature Dad by Simon. There might be the possibility of this actually coming to fruition and being produced, but it was a special IEM, let's put it that way. Just to give you a little bit of a background about Simon, what can I say to not keep you guys here for hours and hours on end. An unbelievable individual, to listen to his story of how he started out, well, as a professional musician, and then going into the world of audiology, making in-ear hearing aids and all that stuff, and then transitioning from that into making in-ear monitors, but custom ones specifically for musicians, and hearing how he progressed and how over 15 years he has basically learned every single thing, from how to make crossovers and match drivers, and he's figured out everything. He's the perfect example of self-taught. That doesn't mean that he didn't strive to learn, and yes, from my conversation it was evident that he made sure that he surrounded himself with the right people, or he had access to the right people to learn from. In this particular case, he went and fetched a lot of knowledge from the individuals of Knowles, the individuals of Sonyan as well. And basically, this whole trajectory of his has enabled him to have an unusual approach to how IEMs should be built, how they should be, and how they should sound, especially because of this background as a musician and understanding what a musician needs and requires. This particular model here, I'm not in the liberty of saying too much in terms of what is being used as a technology inside, but what I can say is that it basically follows a principle called the KISS principle, the Keep It Simple Stupid, which is don't overcomplicate what doesn't need to be complicated. And the implementation of the BAs and how they are working with each other, the implementation of the dynamic driver and how it's also working, the careful attention to detail when it comes to actually the volume of the shell. So this isn't this size just for the sake of being this size and this shape. No, there's a lot of design and testing and making sure that the volume that it has behind and in front of the drivers is the adequate volume to be able to let the drivers breathe. And it's very evident from the first time you listen to it, because when I heard them the first time, you kind of, this is different, this is unusual, because it was a very big sound, very, very big sound. It was almost like, the best way I can kind of say how it sounded was, let's say I was in a stadium, and the first impact of sound is that you are, let's say, in a access to that stadium, on the tunnel that accesses that stadium, and you're right on the edge of actually entering then the stadium itself. So you're right on the doorstep, let's put it that way, and that positioning there that you are at enables you to get not only the spaciousness, the grandness of the stadium itself, but also get the coziness that is required. I don't know if my analogy is the best, but I hope that you guys will understand what I'm basically trying to say. As I was saying, a very unusual first impression. It wasn't bad, it was just unusual. I wasn't expecting it. When you in your monitors, you ram them inside of your ears, and then many of us, myself included, we go on about soundstage and this and that and blah 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 blah. And the reality is, as opposed to headphones where you can actually create that sense of space because the actual drivers are sitting outside your head and they have air around them basically all the way. In an in-ear monitor, you have to guarantee that the drivers are actually inserted inside of your ear so as to guarantee a decent enough amount of bass. And then to be able to create then that sense of space, that sense of that perception of soundstage, of grandness, becomes an art. And brands use all sorts of things to do it. They go to lengths of making sure that the ducts which connect the vents that connect each one of the BAs to the exterior are in a specific length. I mean, the case at point is a full goes to the length of making sure that every one of the ducts which connects to the dynamic driver and then to the BAs themselves have a specific length to emphasize a specific frequency or to make sure that a specific frequency is noticeable. Having more complicated crossover networks with coils and with inductors, with capacitors, with resistors, as opposed to just a normal or just a run off the just a normal capacitor to work as a high pass filter, or just sometimes just using filters on the actual nozzles as well to cut off specific frequencies. Manufacturers use all sorts of methods to obtain then that sort of sound. Plunge has done it in a completely different way, and this is the perfect example. It kind of goes against what you would expect and against what you would think that, oh, that this is not going to work, and it works. And when you look at the graph, you think, okay, nothing special. But as we know, graphs are not the be all end all. They are a pretty good indicator of what might be the perceived sound of what might be coming. But Plunge is again the example of don't trust the graph, and especially the bass section of the Plunge. When you look at the graph that it has, you kind of are left a little bit wondering, but it's going to be lean, it's going to be kind of reminds me or of the bass that, for example, an IM that Tanstrom launched last year, which was the HOLA, the original one, which had a very lean bass. And not only did it graph that way, but it actually sounded that way. This is the complete opposite. It graphs like it's going to have a lean bass, and it's going to be missing that ability to go and fetch the lowest of frequencies to then complement music properly. And you couldn't be further from the truth, because then it does have the bass, and it has the bass in the amounts which are correct. Now, let me make clear one thing. This is not a bass head IM. It's not a treble head IM. No, it's an IM that's supposed to be correct in its way that it sounds. But if you are overly zealous in wanting to be correct, or if you're over zealous in wanting to be audiophile, then that becomes that gives you a boring sound, a sound that you listen to one or two songs and that's it. That's not the case here with the Plunge. I mean, the number of songs that I went through, and that absolutely surprised me. Something like, for example, Some Things I'll Never Know from Teddy Swims. You have to actually listen to the song. Well, first of all, you got to know the song. So I'll actually give the link for you guys to go check it out. And then, it's one of those songs that, in my opinion at least, showcases the ability of an IM giving you this sense of space. Pancakes and Butter from Jason Mraz, again, another sound that gives you that ability to really kind of separate the men from the boys, the properly done IMs to the IMs that are just tunes, let's put it that way. And it's like I said, the Plunge never ceases to amaze me and to surprise me. I mean, I'm not really going to be doing a comparison, but some of you that follow me know that, for example, the Panon, the Volt is one of the Panon Volt and the Soundrime, the DTE 900 are probably two of the IMs that I like the most. They're both tribrids. They have very different approaches to playing music, but they both sound absolutely amazing. The Volt, I haven't heard the EJ07, the Electro EJ07, but the Volt, from people that know the EJ07 and actually saw the graph of my Volt, they say that there's a touch of the EJ07 magic there. And all I can say about the Volt is that everything is done, on a level which I didn't expect. Not that I didn't know it was going to be good. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this good. And I've actually had the opportunity to listen to its bigger brother, the Impact. And personally, I actually think that this is a better IM. But that's just me personally. And I've heard many other IMs way more expensive, and the Volt surprised me in a very positive manner. And the DTE 900, the same situation. The DTE 900, especially using the 25 ohm impedance adapter, is another IM which is an absolute gem. And when you consider that both these IMs are priced at around $700, so they're not mega buck IMs, and they are playing, in my opinion, and giving you performance of many mega buck IMs, I think that's quite impressive. The Plunge easily joins these two. I'm gonna say just that much. Fair enough. If I have to now go break down things, okay, it might not have the bass that the DT 900 has in terms of volume, of energy. Okay, it's a bass that's more along the lines of the Volt, maybe just a little bit less energy, but it's got the quality, it's got the airiness, it's got that ability to fill things out. Okay, if you understand what I'm saying, you feel it without it being overpowering. In terms of mids, absolutely unreal. I mean, the Plunge is, if the Volt and the DT 900, in my opinion, are excellent in that department, this holds its own very well, and actually even beats these two, because it's capable of giving more sense of space, more sense of air. Let's call it, for the sake of argument, more soundstage. It's just very, very airy, very, very grand. Okay, it's got almost got that planar kind of vibe going for it. But contrary to what I was as well thinking, oh, okay, it does these more mellow tunes nicely. How will it handle things which are a little bit more energetic? And songs like Waves from Dennis Allen did it perfectly, no issues. I can't say, oh, I wish it had a bit. No, it does it perfectly. And even things which are completely, My Father's Eyes from Eric Clapton, again, perfect. Purple Rain from Prince, perfect. It is just quite, well, disturbing is not the right word, but it's actually quite enervating almost, because you think to yourself, at least I thought myself, okay, now here's a song that this is not going to do properly, and it does it. And well, now this song, no, it's not, and it does it. And okay, fair enough, maybe a little bit of brain burn, maybe a little bit of just being excited about it, but no, I will then take 5, 6, a week off listening to it, and I'll go back to it, and I'll go to those same songs, and I'm again wowed. So there's definitely some magic there. I know that Plunge is now entering more the universal market of IEMs. They've been basically just custom up to now. The Unity, which is very similar to this, is a 4BA, which is a universal fit. This also, as you can see, is a universal fit, and they are now wanting to enter that area of the market of the more, let's say, universal IEMs with configurations which we've seen many times before. 1+4 is not an unusual configuration, but that doesn't mean that they don't have other plans or maybe other things which will be unusual. From what I understand, yes, they do. Yeah, that's basically it, guys. Like I said, my intention wasn't really to compare these three IEMs. It was just to bring the attention to all of us, basically, of Plunge. Like I said, those that are in Canada probably, and those which are in the music world, will probably have heard these IEMs, and some of them will probably own these IEMs, as Simon even himself told me that he has a gentleman that owns still one that he made for him perhaps 10 years ago. He still owns them, and he still uses them regularly. When that happens, it's a testament that things are done properly. It's as simple as that. It's a testament that things have been tuned properly and they do what they're supposed to do properly. That's the reality. And that's it, guys. I really don't have much more to say other than, if you do have the opportunity to listen to anything from Plunge, I would definitely say go ahead and listen to it. Go listen to it with an open mind. Don't go expecting, oh no, it's gonna be an IM no. Go with an open mind. And like I said, the technology, the knowledge, the countless hours of dedication that have been put into the Plunge here, and well, into all of his IMs is definitely worth it, because you will undoubtedly feel that you are listening and to something very special. Those which are a little bit more savvy will definitely pick up on that very quickly, and you will quickly understand that this is not just your average IM that you pay $200, $300, $500, $1,000, you know. No, it is really something special, and it deserves, in my opinion, a little bit more, well, not a little bit more, but way more recognition than what it's getting right now. Okay, just out of curiosity, I mean, this is the box that the Unity brings. It actually says the name there, Unity, and this is the box in which it came in. And again, this is something which I was very impressed with. It's a very nice box. It kind of has the same finish as the IM itself. The IM's like got this like kind of rough finish to the 3D printing, but it really looks very nice. It really looks the part, and the case itself is done in the same method. Holds the tips on there, the cleaning tool, the IM sits here with the cable being wound up, and it's all magnets and everything. It just, the case I thought was really a nice, unusual case, and that's why I just wanted to quickly show it to you. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked it. I hope this was something that interested you. And as always, like and subscribe. Click that button, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.